Alright, so we're in Photoshop, and I'm just showing you kind of the end product that we're shooting for, where I have this nice rectangular texture that's more or less straight up and down and horizontally oriented that we can bring into Maya to use as a nice flat cubic texture map. So where did this image start? Well, it started with this. We started off with this, which has, as we said, all of the perspective distortion on it, and we ended up with this. So how did we get to this phase? And that's what we'll work on right now. All right, well, I'm just going to start us, from the very get-go here. So I've just got this photograph I downloaded from the internet, and it just has one layer. And a lot of times those photos that you bring in, it'll have one layer, but it'll say background, and it'll be in italics here. I usually go ahead and just double-click on it to change the name, and you can change it to layer 0 or something. And then the first thing I do is I always make a copy of my original artwork, because it just makes it easy if I need to go back, if I mess something up out here. And that's just a habit that I encourage you all to get into. And the other thing you can do is go back here and lock it, turn it off, and you can always make extra copies of that if you need to. And then the other thing I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and make, using the little yin-yang button down here, I'm going to make a solid color adjustment layer. And I'm going to choose gray, just kind of a middle gray here, because it makes it a lot easier to see when we get over into Maya. If you choose white, you run into problems with that. So let's go ahead and choose gray. So, all right. And then, let's see, I think we're ready to rock. So let's go here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select out this front plane of the building only. And I'm not going to worry about the rest of this. So I'm going to go in, and I'll use the polygon lasso. If you don't have the polygon lasso, the default is, you probably don't, it's the circular regular lasso. Just go in Photoshop, anytime you've got that little black triangle in the bottom right hand corner of your tool, it means that you've got, if you click and hold down on it, you've got other choices here. So choose the polygon lasso tool, and I'm going to zoom in here a little bit, and just go ahead. It should take us 4 clicks. And I've just selected the front plane of that building. So then I'm going to just copy that, Command C, or Edit Copy for those of you who are strangely using the menu for copying things. And then paste it, Command V, or up here, Edit Paste, again, for those of you weirdos who are still using the Edit menu to copy and paste things. I guess you're out there. There we go. So I pasted it onto a new layer here, and I'm just going to turn this layer off. So now we can see this in isolation, what we're working with here. Now if you zoom in, you can see, and this is a down and dirty process, so I wouldn't worry, don't get too fussy about it. But you can see how I've got like a little bit extra of the picture here that's not of the building. I do want to clean that up. So I'm just going to go in, and with my polygon lasso tool, just get a little closer, go in and just trim that out. Hit delete. Okay. And that looks decent. Alright. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, with this on its own layer, all I have to do is go into Edit, Transform, Distort. Or I'm sorry, yeah, distort. But I lied to you. Before I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and drag out some of these guides from the ruler up here. If the ruler is not showing, go up here to View Rulers. Command R is the shortcut, so that turns it off. So if it looks like this and you don't have a ruler up here, go up here, View Rulers, turn it on, so you've got a nice ruler there. And if you just click and drag up there, it'll bring out a new guide. And I'm just going to bring a few out here just to check my work as I go, to check the major kind of axes of this thing, and I'll bring a few out from the side ruler here to kind of establish that I want this thing to fit into basically a horizontal vertical format, and I want the windows to be more or less horizontal vertical. It's not going to be totally perfect, but it'll be close. So now, once I've got my guidelines out here, I'll go ahead and hit Edit, Transform, Distort, and I'm just going to pull these corners out and up to start straightening this out. And let me pull this down so I don't lose that cool cornice thing up there. Alright, pull this. And let's see, that looks pretty good. Maybe pull this up just a bit here. Yeah, not bad. So I'm checking these. That looks decent there. Yeah, not bad. So maybe this bottom part, I could either cut this. I might even just cut this or duplicate this out. Depends on how much how detailed I want to get. So I'll go ahead, and once I'm done with that distortion, I have to hit Return to accept the transformation. And there we go.